obviously from Russia. So let's get started. Okay, so I am going to put in here 1 cup of butter, and it does need to be butter, it can't be margarine, okay? Because it just doesn't taste the same. I mean, I suppose you could, but you know, splurge a little bit, okay? And so that goes right in here. So it takes 2 of these, because that's a cup of butter. 2 sticks of butter is a cup. So it takes a lot of butter. And it does have to be at room temperature. It can't be straight out of the refrigerator. Otherwise it won't work properly. And it's so funny because you buy different kinds of butter, and some butters at room temperature, they keep their shape, you know, and others are very melty. It depends on where you get it, what brand name you're using. So I'm adding in 1/2 cup of powdered sugar. And I do have organic powdered sugar here, but you can use whatever kind you want. Okay, so 1/2 cup of powdered sugar goes in there. Then we're just gonna use a paddle attachment and then cream this together. And it should cream together really nicely. It shouldn't take too long for that to happen. Okay. So this does not have any leavening agents in it at all, including no eggs. Okay. So after that we're going to put in a teaspoon of vanilla extract. And yes, I do use the real stuff. So that goes in there like so. So that's our 3rd ingredient in there. We're going to add in 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, okay? And so not very much, but it adds a great flavor to it. So 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Ooh. Alrighty. And so that's our 4th ingredient. And then our 5th ingredient is going to be some flour. Okay? So we're going to put in this on just a little bit. 2 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm just going to measure this out using a straight edge. Okay? And I'm just going to slowly put this in here a little bit at a time, not all at one time. Okay, there's 1. Okay, then let's put our 2nd one in here. Okay, here we go. Okay, there's our 2nd cup of flour. Okay, so then after that, we're going to go ahead and grab a chef's knife here, and I'm going to be using about 2/3 of a cup of chopped pecans here. If you want to, you can use walnuts. That's perfectly fine, although that traditional recipe does call for pecans. Pecans, whatever you want to call them. Also, such a festive time of the year. I love to make all kinds of holiday cookies. So this particular recipe comes from my grandmother, who was from Vienna, but my grandfather's family was from Russia. So we have lots of nice recipes from Russia that we made tradition in our family. This is one of them. I remember making this as a little child in my grandmother's kitchen and having fun doing it. Thinking about all those wonderful, presents under the tree and all the wonderful smells that were coming out of the kitchen. And oh wow, it was a wonderful time as a child. It still is fun, but it's not the same as being a kid, that's for sure. Okay, so let's measure this out now that we have our pecans finely chopped here. We can't have them too big, okay? So we have these like so. between 2/3. So there's 1/3 right there. And then let's do our second third here as well. Okay, there we go. Our second third is right there. We'll clean up this mess a little bit later. So we're just going to turn this on, get this all the way processed. And then we're just going to refrigerate this for about 20 minutes and then get started on making some balls. So I'll see you back here in a minute. Yeah, so I just got the cookie dough out of the refrigerator. It was in there for 1 hour. And I am going to put the balls on here and then bake them at 400 degrees. I preheated my oven to 400 degrees and then they're gonna bake for 10 to 12 minutes. And then we're gonna take them out of the oven and roll them in powdered sugar. Okay, so you're just gonna take you don't want them to be too large, okay? So I'm using a cookie scoop so that they don't get too big. You know, these aren't gonna rise very much because they don't have any leavening agents in them, right? There's no anything in there. There's not even eggs, which makes these actually a pretty inexpensive cookie to make for the holiday season. So from that perspective, you know, pretty affordable type of a cookie. So we're just gonna keep working on these. It's gonna take me a bit of time to do this, you know, roll out all these cookies. But I'll see you back here in a few minutes. These are ready to go in there. I'm finally done. Here they go. 10 to 12 minutes, 400 degrees. Whoa, it is time to get them out of the oven. Woohoo! Oh, clear that off there. Here we go. Here are our Russian tea cakes. So let's put some powdered sugar on a plate here. And we're gonna roll these in powdered sugar, okay? And they're pretty hot right now, so I'm gonna kind of use a spoon to do this here. Just take them, roll them in this, you know, like so. And put them back on here, you know, when they're warm. And next one. So just keep rolling, and then we'll plate them up here. So after you roll these in powdered sugar, you let them cool, and then you roll them in powdered sugar again. Well, it's time that I have these all nice and powdered sugared up. So in a half an hour after they've cooled down all the way, then I'm gonna roll them in powdered sugar again. So it's time to put more powdered sugar on a plate, and then we're gonna roll these in after the cookies are cooled down. You just roll them in here like so. Lock in, and then you have a whole plate of cookies ready to go. Russian tea cakes, all the way from Russia. Enjoy this holiday season. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell and give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.